ice cream maker, defrosted and unplugged. What is all this shit doing up here? How hard must it have been to bring it up here? The flashlight casts a strange shadow. There's a hidden doorway here. Ooh. Two rusty rifles are hidden above the piping. They look inoperable. Oh.
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in.
Look, there's a hole in the wall.
There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting. Do you want to take a look?
Okay, I do.
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs. Rummaging around, you find rusty rifles hidden away. Most of them are rusty and inoperable, like the rest, but one catches your eye. A bolt-action model with a fine wood stock, in better cosmetic order than the others.
This one looks nice.
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way.
Could the murder weapon we're looking for be similar?
It's the same type of weapon, yes, a breech loader. An interesting coincidence that we should find something so similar. But I'm afraid our search for the real murder weapon must continue.
What does this mean, a rifle here?
It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say. Might come in useful in the future.
He likes this find.
Where are we?
Seems like an old bunker from the revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. Must be an old weapons cache.
Also, here's an antler. So, this is my place. I mean, it's a whole deer head, but you know what I mean. Someone has stuck some busted guns beneath the ceiling. A frozen ice cream marker that's still running. But why?
Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby. An electric sizzle. The room is slightly quieter now. Something close to you dies with a soft electric purr.
Why did you do that?
I don't know why I unplugged it. I do things without any reason.
The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything.
I'm just saving them electricity. Jesus. Ooh. A mesh tank top. We will be wearing that, you know me.
The bear's eyes are dead and the bear's
Okay,
eyes.
never mind. Sorry. The wall is collapsed. It's inaccessible now. You know what? Before we try going in there, I kind of wanna look up here. Huh? Oh, of course, it's a cellar. For some reason I thought we were in the attic. Okay, now that exit makes perfect sense.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black.
Look inside the furnace.
It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness you can hear chatter. It's coming from above. A voice or several voices talking to each other. Near the smoke chamber, upstairs. The echo is so prominent, it's impossible to discern what the voices are saying or what's producing them.
What are you doing?
I'm not sure, Kim, but I think I can hear someone talking upstairs.
Wait, really? Maybe it's coming from behind those safety curtains we saw upstairs.
Yell hello into the furnace.
Something breaks loose in you. A mighty bellow echoes throughout the chimney's depths. The chatter of tiny voices above suddenly cease.
A 97% roll. Literally any roll could have made it, and this is when we roll double six. Why do I waste my luck in these rolls? A double six wins us even an impossible roll, and we use it on a roll that almost cannot be failed at all.
Hello?
Oh. Hello, are you there? Speak to me.
Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear you. Please come upstairs. There's a safety curtain on the second floor. I'll open it.
You hear a low rumble upstairs.
Oh.
The sound of a curtain being pulled aside.
After you, officer.
So wait, she heard us shouting up, but she didn't hear us knocking on the curtain? Well, let's investigate. Don't run ahead of me, Kim. You weak boy. You might get in trouble. This tray is full of dice. Colorful polyhedral dice. Hundreds of them. The candy dispenser has been repurposed to contain thousands of dice.
Hello.
Novelty
I'm
dice
here.
maker. A bird-like woman sits on a throne of tools with emerald light shining through her hair.
Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've
Oh,
been listening to my Melius.
alright, fair enough.
So what kind of die are you looking for?
She's got a direct view to the backyard. You should interrogate her about the lynching.
Hold on, what do you mean by millions?
Yes, Amelia is like a call-in station. You need a two-way radio to access one. That's why I have these. Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I was so absorbed, I must have missed you knocking.
Wait, on your window? You must have me confused with someone else. I haven't knocked on your window.
Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you're finally here. Let's talk dice. Did you have something specific in mind?
Why are you asking me about dice?
I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need. That's why you're here, yes?
As she speaks, her bone-like fingers fiddle with a ring. Her bones light, but her hands strong. Role-playing games? You know the one made by Fortress Accident. Does that count?
I was looking for something else. Squint your eyes mysteriously. Answers? No. Did you buy some? Nah, I don't want to buy dice. I'm not interested in buying dice right now. I'm a police officer and I need to ask some questions.
Of course, I can see that. I just thought you were a police officer looking for dice. How else can I help you then?
No falsehoods are present. She's a novelty dice maker and doesn't have anything to hide. Ask what you need.
What do you know about the man who was lynched behind the whirling in rags?
Nothing really. I didn't know him.
The lieutenant looks at his notebook. Then, the woman under the large window.
Your window looks directly onto the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see or hear anything unusual last Sunday evening?
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window.
What do you mean by the daily ruckus?
Well,
Or ruckus?
there's always something going on in the Whirling's backyard. During daytime, there are usually those kids. And lately, I've been seeing a lot of drunk workers hanging about. Must be because of the strike.
She's heard of the murder, but did not see it, sire.
But I never saw anyone during that fateful Sunday night, I'm afraid.
Do you often work Sunday nights?
It's an odd profession, making dice for people. But I like it. And I prefer doing this to sitting at home.
I see. Thank you for your answers.
She nods.
Anything else, officer?
Hey, where are we anywhere? What is this place?
We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know. But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus.
Creative.
Do you know what happened to the other tenants? Everyone else is gone.
More or less. Are you interested in anyone specific?
Oh, quite a lot of them spring to mind. Rats scuttle in the dark rooms under the abandoned blow dryers and dusty mannequins. Cobwebs cover rotors and radio computers alike. So much failure.
There was a terrifying taxidermied bear in the cellar.
Oh boy, the fabled Revachol ICT. You're in for a treat here. The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now ask me about their other ideas.
Oh,
Indeed. What were the other ideas?
alright. What about the other ideas?
There was really just one. And it involved
Oh.
picking out the prettiest girls in the neighborhood and paying them 20 cents per hour to man the booth. And by man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing.
Fritta does the same thing.
Yep. I know a girl just like that. She works in Frit as a cashier and she's not particularly friendly.
Employing silky teenage girls is a widespread practice, yes. Unfortunately, they always come in packs. I'm talking about acne-ridden girlfriends.
That's a bit
and
judgmental,
like
lady.
boyfriends loitering near the shop. At least that's what happened with Ravachol ICT.
You're a bit of a judgmental piece of shit, aren't you?
And they already had the bear.
What about the bear?
The bear.
Didn't work out?
Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile
Why not? It's ice cream.
predator. To make matters worse, the fridge didn't work too well either, and half the
Oh.
ice cream came out malformed and partially melted. Eventually, Ravachol ICT lost the price war to its rival, Glace 5000. Glace 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece, out of regular fridges.
I killed the bear.
You did what?
I had to kill the bear to become the bear. Okay, I'm not saying that. I unplugged the fridge to help Ravachol ICT cut their losses.
Ugh, of course they left it plugged in. Even in death, the bear is costing them money. The taxidermist who made it said it was his vision beast. He said he met his vision beast while high on desiccants. He called it Megatherian.
What a bunch of weirdos.
Sounds cool.
Does it though? Does it actually sound cool?
Scary, but
I
cool.
I think it's neither of those things actually. Very cool, but I don't want to hear more about bears. Well, actually, I do. Megatherian? What the fuck is that?
Megatherian, a mega wild beast.
What's a mega wild beast?
It's an imaginary beast that guides you through life.
Ah. See, it's becoming less and less cool, and it was not cool to begin with.
By telling you to do more drugs, mostly.
Never mind. Turns out I'm in the wrong. It is very cool.
Wise and noble beast, guiding you toward the land where the streets are paved with drugs.
I do drugs. I got a vision beast myself. Do I?
Do you? Well, good luck keeping it under control. Anyway, now you know the story of the fallen ice cream empire.
The temperature has dropped in the cover of the night. You see frost on the windows.
Anything else? Another failed business, perhaps? I've been here for a long time.
I found a strange machine. Oh, that's okay.
Fortress Accident,
Mhm.
the radio game studio. They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems every now and then. Once, I even saw two of them get into fisticuffs over Wirral.
But you know what they say about radio games? This video killed the radio game.
They certainly took their work very seriously, even if they seem to be chronically liberal with their schedules.
What do you mean liberal? What happened?
The usual. They ran out of money and couldn't get the project done on time.
What went wrong?
Well, I did hear them talking at times. They seemed to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest.
She sounds almost mocking when she says that.
From what I've seen so far, the project did look quite impressive.
Yes, but when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about capitalism. You know, how the markets are rigged to keep out new businesses and so on.
I mean, they're not wrong.
In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something
boy.
truly historic and to show up to work on time.
Oh, you're very, very small-minded lady.
Showing up to work on time is hard. No, scratch that. Showing up to work at all is difficult, especially if you've been drinking.
That's too bad. I would have supported them. The project looked great.
Not the wisest decision. You would have lost all your savings.
The result is 1 on a 20-sided die.
Sounds like I would throw.
Anything else?
I found creepy mannequins.
There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years until the insect rights activists came.
I didn't know insects had any rights or activists.
Yeah, the atelier didn't know it either. They produced a certain collection that
Ooh,
used
that's-
chitin among the materials. Apparently, chitin is made in the Occident, where it's extracted from beetle wings.
That's as bad as leather, so fair enough.
And you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident. The activists shut down the biggest chitin supplier, which of course caused the price to skyrocket.
This lady is very annoying, actually.
And, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection.
I'm glad someone took care of the little guys. I like insects. Not.
Really? Anyway,
Did someone make stuffed animals? I saw mounts lying
you
around.
mean Mr. Fabron, the taxidermist? No, he mostly just did drugs.
My dude. Wait. I want to show more of the line left. And go. Like, webcam is a bit uneven, but I don't want to mess around with it now.
But what drugs exactly?
I need to know what drugs he was doing for my police report.
He got high on some weird taxidermy chemicals. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone.
Oh boy.
Eventually, they caused him to lose control of his bladder. The smell was awful.
Even you can probably do better than that.
What's with the rotor blades and skis?
They were made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis, their chief executive took off on a vacation with all their money.
No comments about capitalism this time? It's so good, isn't it?
Honestly, I think it's quite funny.
Of course you
I
do.
think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula or Tiumotiri or Hashtkor or wherever he is.
Interesting, what do those transmissions say?
The usual, I imagine. That he's been thinking up all kinds of new business plans and can't wait to get started on them just as soon as he returns.
Men like that are a curse.
And what's the system these men operate under, usually? Kim?
Sure, but Slipstream is history now. All their remaining assets got seized by the bailiffs in 47. I have no idea why those skis and blades are still lying around in the house. Not much use now, I guess.
They were just props. Why return them?
What happened to the gym?
It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemiteps Boxing Club, a community project created to steer at-risk youth away from drugs and crime.
Oh, maybe that's what Kuno needs, a community-centric boxing club.
Kuno? Who's Kuno?
He is a little ginger gremlin who likes to defile dead bodies.
Oh, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth? Yes, I've heard him yelling profanities in the backyard. I think it would take more than a gym to help that kid.
And who was Artemitep?
A kind man.
Did I pronounce
from
that right?
Zemsk. I heard he had some trouble with the law when he was younger, and that's why he wanted to start the gym, as his way of giving back.
How did the community project work out?
It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even worse. At some point, someone started a rumor that the punching bag downstairs was full of amphetamines.
We're going down to the punching
I
bag.
should have known it. It's not really full of that. No one would
Aw.
store drugs like that.
I mean, that's true.
Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around the plaza ever since.
There used to be a hair salon here, right?
Yes, I think it was called Androgynous Orlando or something similar. They weren't a big hit around here. Turns out that working class men don't like genderless haircuts. They're scared of that word.
You wouldn't like it either. The others would laugh at you.
Who cares?
A bit of experimenting every now and then isn't bad.
What's wrong with a bit of experimenting? The customers should have been more open-minded. I mean, look at me, I'm experimenting. Aww.
I guess it just wasn't the time yet.
What's up with the broken windows?
Oh, this one's a mess. There used to be a company that promised to repair windows 24 hours a day. What could go wrong with this one, right? Turns out, the business was actually set up as a front for an illicit group that was producing snuff milias.
Oh.
Who would have guessed?
What's the snuff milieu? Trust me, you don't want to know.
And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own.
It's a shame about those windows. I'm not even going to ask about that milieu.
Yeah, don't.